You intros.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Look Electric Football. We're doing this because it's 9:30 at night, and I don't want to edit.
I just woke up a few minutes ago and I'm ready to talk football.
So here we go.
What we're going to start with is why football sucks today.
Right.
And as two old men, we can get off my lawn.
Take Nibbit!
Yeah. And I'm telling you, as a kid in the 70s, I loved this game, and I think I loved it more than I do now. Couple of reasons why football sucks right now. I hate the Thursday night game that they're doing it every week.
I do as well.
I think it's changed the way teams prepare. I think it makes it unfair for some teams that have to play a team that's on a long rest. Uh, Not a big fan of it. I like football on Sundays. I can deal with a little bit of Monday night,
Right.
but this, what are we gonna have? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I think football sucks now because
Kickers!
okay, kickers is a good thing. It's gotten to the point where kickers can hit from like 65, 70. They were going to try Janikowski from like 75 yards
Right.
the other day. It's gotten a little crazy.
And the kickoffs don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Just start on the 20 now.
What the hell happened to my kick return?
Right.
Which takes us to another thing. They've pretty much eliminated. They haven't officially eliminated the kick return, but they kind of have. Why have they done this? Because they've taken hitting out of the game.
Right.
It is ridiculous when a defensive lineman is trying to get to the quarterback, goes like this, and gets a 15-yard penalty.
Right.
I saw a hit, led with the shoulders.
Yep, just this week.
His crown of his helmet happened to hit down here. There's 15 yards. It's crazy.
Yep.
Roger Staubach used to take those, and I hated Roger Staubach because he beat my Vikings all the time. But Roger Staubach used to take those hits, spit some tobacco on the ground, get up and throw another pass.
Right.
Another reason why the 70s was better, the run pass balance. They used to have rules so that cornerbacks and safeties had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They don't anymore.
They don't.
They've turned this into Madden. The hurry up and the inability to actually touch a wide receiver has made it Madden. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
That's all we see anymore.
Yep.
I think they underestimate the fan. I think baseball did it too when they were just like home run, home run, home run. It used to be like a deep touchdown pass was a special thing, like you got excited. Now, if you don't see five of them a quarter, you're like, what kind of game is this? I can deal with the defensive struggle. I like a defensive struggle. I'm wearing a Spielman. I happen to like that when defenders can actually, I don't know, hit quarterbacks and play some defense.
Right, and there's no running game anymore. What was better than a Barry Sanders or a Mercury Morris or an O.J. Simpson running the ball? It was nothing more exciting than that kind of play. Nobody does anymore.
And one of the reasons for that is you've got unlimited substitution of 400-pound linemen. So instead of having two guys lock up blocking in the classic electric football pose, and you could see the running lanes develop, now you just got a pig pile that half the time the running backs just squirt into, fall down, and then let's go back to the pass, 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 pass.
Right.
So that's our old man rant. We do love the game.
Oh, I love it every single moment of my life.
We just wish that Roger Goodell wasn't trying to turn it into a nightly event. There also, I'll give you one last one. My Vikings are playing a home game in London. How is that fair to anybody? Oh yeah, we're gonna expand. What's wrong with keeping football American?
And the turf there has always been lousy. If it's at Wembley again, the turf is crappy turf for football. It kicks up. The field is awful. They're tripping. They're falling over the grass. It's an awful playing surface.
Their fingers are all slippery from the oily fish and chips.
Right. And then they go to a haughty. Oh, nice pass.
It is not fair to the Vikings that they have a home game in London. It's not fair to the two teams that they have to travel there and back.
Right. I agree. I think that's stupid. You want a league over there? Make the league again. Make the Europe, the Europe league that they had. That was fun to watch.
I'm going to disagree with that. That goes to oh my God, I have a family. I can't spend all day, all night watching arena football, to college football.
Oh, stop it. I'm getting all hot.
Okay. We really don't want to think about that. So
let's go to week 4.
Yeah, let's talk about some football. We start off with the hated Thursday night game, and it's a pretty good one. It's San Francisco at the 49ers.
Better than it looked
like
San
3 weeks ago. Francisco at the 49ers.
Right. Thank God they're playing themselves.
Wake up, boys.
Rams lie down.
San Francisco at St. Louis. The 49ers suddenly look desperate and punchless.
Mm-hmm.
The team that looked so great in week 1 has laid 2 straight eggs. But I do think that their talent level and their desperation is going to allow them to go into St. Louis and win big. Um,
Yeah, I think so. The 49ers must be shocked at how their season's played out in 3 weeks. I don't think they're going to let the rest of the season slip away here. St. Louis, Bradford plays pretty well when in these kind of games, but I think that the 49ers win. Kaepernick has been ineffective, and Alex Smith is 3-0. Just saying.
yeah, there you go. And they will be without Aldon Smith, which everybody knows that story.
Right, and
So,
Vernon Davis is questionable, so who knows?
well, let's hope Aldon Smith gets his life together because it goes life then football. That should be your priorities.
Not during football season. It's football, then family, then
Okay.
work.
All right. We move on to the Ravens at the Bills. And talking about family, what happened with Jacoby Jones and Sweet Pea on the party bus?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Evidently, there was an incident where a stripper hit Jacoby Jones about as hard as he's ever been hit.
And what's a Sweet Pea?
Sweet Pea is that stripper.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the Bills laid a real egg against the Jets. The Jets were trying to hand them that game. E.J. Manuel looked like a rookie, and I think that the Ravens eat buffalo steak this week. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are primed to get back to where they should have been. They showed it certainly against Houston. That was a big win. And I think they'll take the division as I predicted. It's starting to be a cohesive unit, and we will see Ray Rice run this week. So I think it's the Ravens here.
Yeah, Ray Rice is back. They had a big win last week. No reason to think that they can't handle Buffalo at Buffalo.
Right.
So then we move on to the Cardinals at the Buccaneers. And I'll tell you, Josh Freeman, out.
Yep, on the waiver wire.
Mike Glennon,
or the trading block.
in.
Yeah.
Greg Schiano, hanging on. The Buccaneers are almost in mutiny, evidently, after 3 weeks. It's turning into a real mess. The Cardinals are not a great team, but they're at least a team, a cohesive team. They may not be talented, but they try their hardest. They're not lying down and losing games.
No, they're not.
They're not quitting.
They're fighting.
So I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one.
I'm going to agree. I think the Cardinals D is going to be feasting on Mike Glennon. You don't throw this guy in and expect him to win a game. He's not a RG3 or an Andrew Luck that you're confident is going to go in there and take over a game. I'm confident that the Cardinals have enough defense and Carson Palmer's enough of a quarterback to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. It'll be close, but I think the Cards win here.
All right, so our first 3 picks have been road teams.
Right.
So now I'm going to go with the home team. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings to break our 0-3, and I'm wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey today, which I probably shouldn't as a Viking fan. That was a mess, a white-hot mess. We lost to a Browns team without their best offensive weapon in Trent Richardson, who they traded away.
Right, unbelievable.
We lost to their third-string quarterback, Hoyer.
Yeah.
My prediction that we would win the division is not looking real good, but we are playing a team that's just as much of a mess. The Steelers, one of us has to get a win. I'm taking the home team in Wembley Stadium. They're playing football, the kind you catch, not the kind you kick too often. Give me my Vikes. I think Adrian Peterson can do it for us. And there are rumors that Matt Castle is in. Christian Ponder may be out. I got that straight from Tom Brady.
Okay, well that helps me because this is a game Princess Kate has called a bloody lousy game. The Steelers, Roethlisberger had 400 yards last week and lost. I don't know what's going on with them. Your team, boof.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think they'd be very good, but I didn't think they'd be very bad. So I'm going to disagree with you. I'm taking the Steelers here. They've got Roethlisberger. And they've been there before. They know how to win. I don't think your Vikings are going to know how to win with this guy quarterback.
Yeah, clearly I have blinders on when it comes to my Vikes this year. I got all excited from last year's run. Anyway, talking about teams that are a massive disappointment so far this year, let's talk about the New York Giants. Talking about teams that are living up to one of the few teams that are living up to Steve's expectations, let's talk the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Giants come to the Chiefs. Season basically on the line for the Giants. They need this one desperately, and I don't think they're going to get it. Their offensive line is falling apart. They've gotten old. They've gotten injured. At the same time, Will Beatty is not playing well. I don't see Eli staying upright. Hakeem Nicks is starting to snipe. Justin Tuck has already sniped. You can see the team starting to come
All
apart
right.
at the seams,
All right.
and I don't think they believe in themselves. They're not playing with fire. Give me the Chiefs.
And that's the difference. The Chiefs are confident. They've won some games, and some of them convincingly against good teams. And when was the last time you think you'd pick the Giants to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs? I think Len Dawson was quarterback the last time I would have thought that could happen. Um, I'm going to go with the Big Red Arrowheads here to win one in Missouri.
Only because we believed in the Giants the week before, and they played
Wow,
one of the worst games I've ever seen them play.
a worst game I've seen the National Football League team play.
All right. Speaking of teams that are going to be playing in London, the Jaguars are
Yeah,
facing the Colts. Colts at the Jaguars. There's a good chance that about half the stadium will be empty,
the
and
other half will be drunk.
I think Goodell really wants to move this team to London.
Yeah.
I think he wants to move them to Poland. I'm not sure where, but there's no question in my mind that the Colts are on the upswing. I love the Trent Richardson uh, pickup. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, running back's not that important anymore." I think when you got a great quarterback, decent wide receivers, and you put a running back in there that's a stud,
Yeah, just the threat of a running game opens it up for a guy like Luck.
opens it up
Yep.
and also allows you to seal victories late in games when you don't want to be chucking the ball all over the place.
Right.
So I don't see a way that the Colts lose this one, Stu.
Me neither. I think MJD would rather be playing for an Arena Football League. Oh, wait, he is. It's the Colts.
There are certain teams that you just cannot get a good read on.
Mm-hmm.
For me, one of those teams is Seattle because I never see
Yeah.
them on TV. It's really bizarre that I've seen the Steelers, I've seen teams that are really bad this year, and I'm going to see them again and again, and I never seem to see Seattle on TV.
Got to come to the Cosmos Club on Sundays, man. We got the ticket.
Yeah, without the ticket on the East Coast, you don't see a whole lot of Seattle games. So I have trouble gauging just how good Seattle is. I also have a weird perception problem with the Texans because even when they're getting stomped by the Ravens, I think they look good, and I cannot explain that.
Yeah.
Every week I want to pick the Texans. I'm not going to do it this time. I'm taking Seattle.
Wow.
I know they're not a great road team. I know the Texans still have a pretty fierce defense, but with the way they played against the Ravens, I don't see them beating Seattle.
I disagree. I think the world is picking Seattle, but they always suck on the road. Houston is due. I mean, they're not going on the road to play, the Jaguars. They're going on the road to play what many people perceive to be a Super Bowl participant. I don't think it's going to happen now. I'm just not confident again, and just fire Kubiak already. But I'm going to take J.J. Kilowatt here to light up the Hawks' backfield, and I think it's a Houston win.
There you go. Bengals at Browns. The Orange Bowl comes early.
That's good.
Last week, thank you. Last week, I picked the Bengals. One of my few good picks this year because I've been awful. Stu's been great. I've been awful.
Baby.
But I do believe in the Bengals this year, and I am taking them again. I don't think the Browns get as lucky as they did against a frighteningly ill-prepared Viking team. I think the Bengals have one of the best wide receivers in the game in A.J. Green. I think he's almost underrated. I'll just keep shouting out A.J. Green, A.J. Green. And I don't see a way that the Browns have the firepower to stick with the Bengals.
I always used to say that with DirecTV and fantasy football, even a Cincinnati-Cleveland game would be worth watching because you probably have a player or two or you got a defense. It made you want to watch it no matter how bad they were. But it's finally a game that you actually want to watch. I think, the Bengals are a team that many are predicting to go pretty far in the playoffs. The Browns, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for them. I just like the Browns. And I think that they are improving. I think the Bengals win by a point, but I think this is a closer and better game than a lot of people would think that based on the past.
I'd like to take my namesake. The Browns can't.
Oh, no, I can't.
Riding that tiger one more week.
Okay.
Chicago at the Lions. And you want to talk about a great matchup this year? This is a great matchup to me. This may be the matchup of the week as far as I'm concerned. Two teams that I see as very, very similar. Tough defenses, talented but erratic quarterbacks.
Yeah.
One great wide receiver on each side. Both teams now have the ability to run the ball consistently, though in a very different fashion. Matt Forte being a very different runner than Reggie Bush.
Right.
Bush is practicing as of today and should be playing, at least that's what they're saying. In this case, I've taken a lot of road teams. I think Stu may disagree with me. I'm taking the Lions. I actually think that Stafford and Megatron is just a little bit better than Cutler and Marshall.
For some reason, the Bears always play this game tough. Their defense comes through year in, year out in this
That
game.
is true.
Detroit did find a way to win against Washington, but it was kind of dicey. There was a play that got them the ball back to go ahead, but otherwise they were losing for most of the day. I'm sticking to my preseason prediction that the Bears win this division, and somehow they just win. The Bears always just somehow seem to win this game.
It really, I knew Stu was going to go that way, and I thought about it long and hard at going with the Bears, but I am taking the Lions in this one.
Okay. We need to be different sometimes.
Jets at the Titans, and everyone around here in
Titans at the Titans
in the in the New York, New Jersey area is all fired up about the Jets, but I refuse to believe.
We're giddy like little girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two disturbing Stu.
Wow, that was disturbing.
Two in one EF. Anyway, I refuse to believe in the Jets. I refuse to believe that Rex Ryan is suddenly a genius when he was an idiot 2 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
20 penalties, a lucky win against Tampa Bay. They've played 3 horrible teams. Titans are better than anybody they've played so far this year. I'm taking the Titans to win this one, and I think they'll win this one fairly easily, and I think the euphoria around the Jets is going to start to fade real quick because their schedule gets tough.
I'd love to say it's going to be an easy win for Tennessee. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think they will win. Jake Locker's been protecting the ball. He's got no picks through 3 games, which is the difference between last year and this year. He's playing smarter football. Their Tennessee defense is very good. It's not great, but it's good enough to beat Geno Smith, who's playing in his only his 4th game on the road against a pretty good defense. This is their first test. If they win this game, I'll start believing a little more, but I don't think that's happening.
I won't believe it, period, end of quote.
Okay.
Anyway, we move on to the Redskins at the Raiders. And if there's ever been a matchup of 2 faster quarterbacks in the NFL, I can't think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, this should just be a track meet. They should run a 100-yard dash and just
whoever wins.
Whoever wins. Unfortunately, Terrell Pryor may not remember that he's fast because he got the snot knocked out of him. He evidently doesn't remember much of the game. He's tweeting things like, I heard we played hard. I'm serious.
I miss Ohio.
I'm completely serious. That's a bad sign. The Raiders have showed a little bit of life this year. The Redskins are frighteningly disappointing. Their defense has been just non-existent.
They're old.
They're old. They're young. They're hurt. Whatever they are, they're not good. So I'm still going to take the Redskins. I think RG3 is the better of the 2 quarterbacks.
Even not being 100%, he's a much better quarterback than most quarterbacks are at 100%. I think they're getting into a rhythm now. I think this not playing in the preseason crap is slowing players down. You need games to get into playing shape. So when they come in after not playing in the preseason, they're just catching up to guys that have played 3 or 4 games up till then, and it shows. It shows in any guy that's kind of not played much in the preseason. I think they have enough firepower to beat what is just becoming a joke. This used to be one of the premier franchises, Oakland, and this Davis family, just doesn't know what they're doing. It's a shame.
One of the things that was great back in the 70s, also going back to the original rant, was we had dynasties, and you would see these dynasties come together and like the Raiders would stomp people. The Steelers would stomp people, and then you would get all excited because there was the big matchup coming up. You don't get that with parity.
I used to hate Oakland, and now I don't because they never beat us anymore.
Why would anybody want parity? Parity means mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the NFL has hoped for parity.
The only good thing is a different team gets in almost every year, and some fan base gets excited and buys the jerseys.
Yeah, but you know what? Even as a Viking fan, I used to get massively jacked up for those games.
Mm-hmm.
When the Steelers were going to take on the Raiders, and you had Bradshaw against Stabler and Hall of Famer against Hall of Fame, it was incredible. You don't really see those kind of matchups anymore.
Right.
So let's move on to a pretty good matchup, which is the Eagles at the Broncos.
Can I start this one?
Go.
In an effort to give Peyton Manning another Super Bowl, no one realized this is the 3rd of 4 games that the friggin' Broncos are home to start the season. They're giving them, here, you get to start at home for 3 out of 4 games. It's utter bullshit, and I think that has to be looked at. I think they're setting up the Broncos to get there so they can, throw another Manning on the stage is great. Look what we did. Archie, oh, you're so great. You have two great guys. It just doesn't seem fair.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a little pissed off when I looked at the schedule.
Are they playing 16 games at home still?
No, but they're playing. I mean, imagine getting 3 of the first 4 home in Denver, which is hard to play in because you can't breathe because there's no goddamn air.
I might prefer to have the last few games at home instead of the first few. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying they got a quick start.
Where'd you put your tinfoil hat?
Oh, it's over there, yeah.
It's somewhere. Conspiracy theories too just popped up.
Those low frequencies. Oh my God.
And the black helicopters that are following me. So let's go back to the Eagles versus the
That
Broncos.
was a game, by the way.
Instead of Stewart's dysfunction. This is going to be an NBA score. This is going to be like 132 to 128. This could be a track meet. Whether the NFL has deemed it important or not. Manning is on a historic pace. He's got weapons that Tom Brady must sit around going like, why can't I have those?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I see the Eagles winning this game.
Me neither, and I'm rooting for them.
They're in trouble. The whole Chip Kelly experiment is in trouble because as quick as you move the offense through their possession, that leaves your defense out there longer, and their defense is just flat out bad.
Yeah, they're gonna be out a long time against Peyton Manning.
Yeah, going up against Peyton Manning. Last week he threw what, three touchdowns?
Who cares?
He could have had 6. It was almost like they took their foot off the gas. This week, since the Eagles don't take their foot off the gas, that means Manning's going to have the ball a lot more. And with the weapons he currently has, as healthy as they are, Denver is probably playing better than anybody else right now.
Yeah, agreed.
So Denver at home, winning easily.
Go Eagles.
High scoring game.
Pick the Broncos. Go Eagles.
We move on to the Cowboys at the Chargers. I'm gonna let you start on this one too.
Well, this actually turns out to be a halfway decent game. When I didn't think San Diego was going to put up much of a fight this year, but they're coming alive and they're playing well. So this game is actually a pretty evenly matched game. Both teams seem to be struggling a little bit, but San Diego's playing better. They're playing up to the Cowboys' talent level. I thought the Cowboys were going to run away with it this year. Who the heck am I? I'm some stupid guy in a bar calling games. But I don't think that the Cowboys are truly as good as I thought they would be. I'm getting off the Dallas bandwagon here, and I'm going to hitch it to the Chargers for this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Chargers' 2 losses, I think, have been by 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas's loss was by like a point, if I remember right. Dallas has played way better than I thought they would. Their offensive line seems to be a lot more cohesive, and Tony Romo is a great regular season quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Phillip Rivers seems to have come back to life. I've always been kind of amazed that he hasn't put up better numbers with the kind of receivers that he has.
Yeah.
It is a much better game than you would have thought when you looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season. I hate the Cowboys, so I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay.
I wouldn't bet my money on that, but that's a hatred pick. I picked the Vikings because I love them. I picked the Cowboys because I hate them.
Okay. We're allowed to. We're guys.
Speaking of the other great matchup this week.
Yeah, this is the second best game, if not the first best game.
You've got the Patriots at the Falcons. The Falcons are a team that I thought was going to dominate, and they are not off to a great start. The Patriots are 3-0, and I gotta tip my cap to Tom Brady. As I was talking about before, he doesn't have the kind of weapons.
He has no weapons.
Other than Randy Moss briefly, he's never really had a great wide receiver. And look what he's done.
And that's why he's scary. He makes crap look great.
He lost Hernandez because Hernandez, the whole situation. Thank you, Stu. There's another reason why the NFL sucks. I remember in the 70s, John Matuszak used to get in bar fights. They didn't kill people.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, old man grumpiness. You kids,
very late for us old men.
You kids, stop killing people.
Get off my lawn.
Just get back into bar fights like they did in the good old days. Oh, goodness.
We are old.
But I mean, he's throwing the ball. His primary receiver right now is what? Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
Danny Amendola.
Dobson.
I mean, those two could switch jerseys and no one would know the difference. Yeah. And they're 3-0. and they're not going to be 4-0 because the Falcons are better right now. The Patriots are doing it because of Brady's genius and because Belichick's better coach than anybody else out there, evidently. But they're not that talented this year. It's going to catch up with them. The Falcons, can you imagine if Brady was throwing to the Falcons receivers?
Oh, it'd be insane.
Can you imagine if Brady had
Julio
Gonzalez,
Jones, Gonzalez, I know,
Jones,
Roddy White?
They would be putting up massive numbers. They'd
Yeah.
be putting up Manning numbers.
They would be. They'd be putting up Brady numbers.
So, I don't see a way the Patriots go on the road, beat the Falcons. Not this week. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, and God bless America. The Patriots finally have a tough road game. They're not home against the Falcons here. Falcons are angry. They lost a game they shouldn't have to the Dolphins. They pretty much dominated the game and still found a way to lose. Patriots have been beating not such great teams, and I think it is the Falcons this week. I think they're going to be little angry birds instead of dirty birds.
All right, and we're going to let Stu finish up with the Monday Nighter, which he has to be excited about, which is the Dolphins at the Saints.
Wow. Back to you, Steve. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What jersey are you wearing?
I'm so giddy this year. I'm picking the Dolphins, but my goodness, the Saints. I mean, let's face it. Matt Ryan should have been the Dolphins pick. We beat Atlanta, but we took Jake Long, so Matt Ryan went to Atlanta. It was Drew Brees or Dante Culpepper, and our doctor said, let's go with Culpepper. He's in better shape. So Drew Brees. I'm going on that dramatic shift in the whole tenor of the world that the Dolphins are going to finally start winning games. And I'm taking Miami. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm 3-0 in this jersey, and I'm wearing it till we lose.
There's no surprise. Whoever set the schedule is a
You
genius.
picked Minnesota.
I do. I'm an idiot. I'm 0-3. I'm having a horrible season. They should erase my face. That guy doesn't know anything. And I probably still don't know anything because I'm taking the Saints in this one. At home,
Most
Monday
people
night, electric atmosphere. Are the Dolphins that good? I haven't watched them. I don't know. You watch them.
Not yet.
But you watch them with rose-colored glasses on.
No, I'm telling you, we shouldn't have beat Atlanta. Our offensive line was Swiss cheese in the last 3 games, but Tannehill is somehow managing to get that drive at the end of the game, and that's showing that's the shift, man. This is a guy that knows how to win a game at the end. He could be losing, and these were the games we always lost. We're winning these games now. We may not go more than 8-8 this year. I'm not saying we're great, but the tide has changed.
I'll tell you what, the kid is playing better than I thought he would, and he's kind of the forgotten man in that class of quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
But it may turn out that he may actually leapfrog a couple of those guys and be thought of as a better pick long term. As an ex-Viking, I would like to say that Dante Culpepper did not suck until I put him on my fantasy team, and then he sucked. Anyway, that's week 4 electric football. Not the most in-depth analysis you're ever going to get because we're sleepy, tired old men.
Tired men. We are going home now to put our heads on the pillow.
We've done our "you kids today don't know what real football is" rants.
So next week we'll have an intro. We'll be better prepared, and we'll still get the picks wrong.
So I'm Steve Brown.
I'm Stu Kvetch. Thanks for watching. Thanks. You're electric football fans. Click the thing.
Yeah, we're getting no views.
Yeah, will you watch our show?
And send it to somebody, ask your mom to watch for.
Exactly.
We need the views.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.